Welcome back, everyone, to Lakers latest. I hope everyone had good weekend. Obviously, still the holiday weekend, so hope everyone has one more good day. Obviously, Monday is Labor Day. I hope no one's working. I hope no one has to work because that would really suck. It would kind of defeat the entire purpose of the day entirely. Um, but yeah, I hope everyone had a good weekend so far. I hope if you have something planned tomorrow. I hope you have a great time. Enjoy the day off. That's what it's for. As always, I am coming to you from Studio City, California, where right now it is about 92 degrees. It is scalding hot. It's going to just continue to be ridiculously hot the next few weeks in LA and most of California. So, hopefully you got a pool if you're doing something. You're staying inside. It's cool. It's brisk. Just don't overheat yourself. Make sure you drink a ton of water. Yeah, hopefully everyone had a good weekend. It's gonna have a good Labor Day. But let's hop right into it. So first thing on the docket today is probably gonna be the most talked about Laker as far as trade rumors at this point. We kind of talked about LeBron. Almost, it seems it's virtually impossible he get traded. I know the Warriors kind of inquired multiple times. You saw that report. That's not happening. Um, so the guy that pretty much everyone's talking about as far as potential Lakers trade Chip, or a guy that are they going to keep him at the end of the year? Are they going to have to give him an extension, or do they want to trade him for assets if they don't believe in him? That guy is Austin Reaves. At this point, we all know Austin Reaves' story by now. Undrafted free agent, picked up, had a really solid rookie year. Has just pretty much improved every single year he's been in the NBA to the point where now he's a very, very good player, averaging 20 points over 5.5 assists a game. He's developed into just a really, really good player. When he first came, it was like, oh, this is a good undrafted signing. And now he's turned into a guy that scores 20 points a game. I don't think anyone really ever anticipated that when they first signed him, but he's obviously been a very important part of the team these past few couple, 3-4 years. Got that contract extension. He'd be due for a contract extension again after this offseason. Or I can't remember. Is this offseason or the following? Point is, the decision's going to need to be made very soon on if they want to give him a contract extension. So, I've seen a lot more mock trades, a lot more talk regarding Austin Reaves in the past couple weeks. Are they going to keep him? And popped up on one potential trade proposal that would send Austin Reaves to the Dallas Mavericks. Doesn't really make any sense to me. Not necessarily from the perspective of like, oh, you wouldn't be getting like a good player that can help you back in return. I just don't know where some people come up with this stuff. It's actually ridiculous. So can't remember where I saw it. Maybe it was like heavy.com or something, but the trade is Austin Reaves and a 2031 first round pick. It doesn't specify whether that's unprotected, lottery protected, top 3, top 6, top 8. No specifications on that. I'm assuming if they would have a ridiculous trade like this, they would probably have it unprotected because they don't know how these things work. So let's just, for argument's sake, let's say it's unprotected. Austin Reaves and an unprotected 2031 first round pick to the Dallas Mavericks for Derek Lively and Caleb Martin. Yeah, I'll just dissect this from the Lakers' perspective. This is just ridiculous. Like I don't know where people come up with this stuff. It's not that Derek Lively isn't a good player. He's a really solid player. I do think he would be a great fit on the Lakers. But it just doesn't make sense. Like Derek Lively, contract wise, I think it's 5, 7, 10 after the first round because he was, I think, the 10th overall pick. So it's reasonable. It's not that it's the money's not reasonable for him. It's just that Austin Reaves has gotten better every year. He averaged 20 and 5.5. Like, if the Mavs offered Derek Lively straight up for Austin Reaves, I don't think the Lakers would accept that. So the fact that they're going to add a 2031 first round pick in addition to Austin Reaves is just crazy for me. Like, I don't know where people come up with this stuff where they think it's viable, where they think, oh yeah, like this is gonna work. A team's gonna do this. The other part of that deal is Caleb Martin like isn't good. Like he or God, I always forget it's Cody or Caleb, which I think he was the one on the Heat Demon. Like the dude makes $10 million a year the next 3 years, and he's not that good. Like his contract's ridiculously overrated. So you're telling me the Lakers are going to give up a better player than either of the two players they're going to get back? They're going to give him an unprotected 2031 first, which is more valuable than earlier picks because we know Luka's going to be here at least for years. God forbid he left. A 2031 first could turn into something really big if he left. I don't think he's going to leave, obviously, but the point is, like, it just makes no sense. And then Caleb Martin makes $10 million a year. He's not even close to worth that. So, like, you're giving up a better player. You're giving up a later unprotected first-round pick for a player that's not as good as Austin Reaves and a player that has a horrible contract. I'm not saying Austin Reaves couldn't get traded, but not for that garbage, dude. Like, be so for real. And I'm not saying Derek Lively isn't a good player. He is. But, like, not for that. It's just ridiculous, dude. Like, if you're coming up with these trade proposals, like, be so for real in what you're offering. Because, like, some of this stuff just makes no sense. It's just crazy. So, yeah, I hope people just come up with more realistic offers. I do think Austin Reaves is going to be talked about in trade rumors kind of all throughout the season. Not saying it's going to happen, but it's definitely, it's certainly possible. All right, so let's go on next thing on the docket. Talk a little bit about more of the offseason. So this is an interesting tidbit that I noticed. The Lakers currently cannot sign a 15th player. I'm not going to go into like the logistics of it. Just it's all based off operating under the first apron of the hard cap. It's the first apron, second apron, all those rules and everything. I'm not going to explain too much about it because that would just take me too much time for people that don't know how the first and second apron works. But basically, because of how the Lakers cap is currently constructed, they're one of 5 teams who is unable to sign a 15th player. So if I read this correctly, the Lakers would not be able to sign a fully guaranteed NBA 15th player, even if it's a minimum contract, until January 18th. Interesting for a multitude of reasons. Number one, they obviously still would want to maybe get one more player on the roster, which they can't do. For a guy like, I don't know, like Malcolm Brogdon, just speaking out loud here, like maybe he could help, or just adding another guy to add in a potential future trade. So that's just interesting. Again, I don't even know the full logistics of that. I'm not going to look into the second apron and the first apron and the cap is just crazy. It takes a lot of time to understand. I've read through it. I've tried to do my best, but even then, it's still a little confusing. But I just found that interesting. Like, obviously, we talk about something like a Vucevic buyout, right? Like, now realizing, like, if again, I don't think Vucevic is getting bought out. Maybe he will at the deadline if they don't find anything, but I would almost certainly expect him to get traded. But there's been rumors about that, and we talked about that, and it's like, even if he gets bought out, the Lakers can't even sign him. So like, at this point, you don't want him to get bought out. The last person they could do that with was Marcus Smart. They did that. They got Marcus Smart. And they don't have the capability of doing that. So even if a guy like Vucevic became available, or they wanted to go after like a better bench piece like Malcolm Brogdon, they don't even have the capability to do that unless they traded away a couple guys. If they didn't, though, they can't sign anyone until January 18th. Which, yeah, again, just a very interesting tidbit in the first apron hard cap. Something that I don't think it will affect them too greatly, but obviously, like, you want to be able to bring in one more vet, so that's definitely frustrating they're not going to be able to. But that's definitely something to keep an eye on in season, especially if guys get bought out, which usually doesn't happen until close to the deadline anyway. Won't affect, the ability to trade, but it's an interesting thing nonetheless, and definitely something to keep an eye on as far as like the first apron hard cap, and all that stuff. All right, next on the docket, I got Reaves, Messi. Sorry, let's just say Messi. His first name is a little confusing to pronounce, so apologies if I pronounce that wrong. This is a guy who was on, I believe he was first team all-team rookie last year. He was really good, really talented player, coming out of Baylor, like just a rim running type guy, really good defender, very good rebounder. For a stretch of a couple months there, he was crushing it, getting doubles. Now, again, like, obviously the Pelicans stink. We talked a couple last week about what would it take to get Zion. Now Messi is another guy. Obviously, you have Ayton, you have Hayes. But if he were ever to become available, and again, we Pelicans guys could become available, whether it's Zion, Murphy, Messi. He's in his second year, so I don't think he were to become available yet. If they keep stinking it up, maybe he would, but he is kind of the exact type of guy that would fit really well next to, similar to Derek Lively, who we just talked about. Really good rim runner, defender, rebounder. He does pretty much everything that fits well with Luka and LeBron, but especially Luka because, LeBron's probably only going to be here a year. So he's a guy, and again, any Pelicans guys keep an eye on, because if they keep stinking up, like, it would not surprise me if they go on a fire sale and just trade any person of value just to try and load up on picks and really almost start a rebuild, because obviously what they're doing right now is it's just not working. So Messi's a guy to keep an eye on. If he does become available, I think the Lakers should go very hard after him. He's a young, really talented player that could fit well with Luka for the next 4 to 6 years. And I think they're going to keep their eye on the trade market. Obviously, they're not going to make any trades before the season. I mean, I don't want to say obviously, it's not guaranteed, but it's probably not going to happen. If they do make a big trade, it's almost certainly going to be in season or probably near the trade deadline, which is probably the first or second weekend of February. Now, obviously, if someone gets hurt or they start playing poorly, maybe they could feel forced to make a trade earlier in the season if things aren't going well, or guys aren't playing well together, or Aiden's not a good fit. Stuff like that. Not saying he won't be, but it's possible. Like, these things are always possible. You never know how it's going to happen. So definitely one to keep an eye on. Really, just the whole Pelicans team as a whole. If guys start becoming available, you definitely want to inquire. But yeah, he's a really, really young, talented player, and a guy that if he were ever to become available, I think Rob should definitely hop on that and try and see what it would take to acquire him. Which, if I had to guess, probably a first round pick, maybe Jackson Hayes, and I don't know, you throw in maybe a second round pick. Just speaking out loud here, but yeah, again, we'll see if he becomes available. If he does, Rob, definitely go after him. He's a great fit. All right, last thing on the docket here. It's not too much going on. I just wanted to say Jeremy Lin, mostly known for his famous Lin Sanity run when he was on the Knicks. One of those games, he obviously scored 38 against Kobe and the Lakers. I remember watching that game. It was nuts. Like, you just never seen anything like it. Obviously, he played for the Lakers one year. It wasn't the Linsanity run. He was a solid, decent player, but the Linsanity had kind of gone over by then. He had his one season with the Lakers, 11.2 points, 4.6 assists, 42% from the field, 37% from three. Fun guy, really good guy, really smart guy, like just a great teammate, like a guy that everyone loves to have around. Unless your name's Carmelo Anthony, apparently. But yeah, just a great guy, solid player. Obviously, been to a bunch of places throughout his NBA career, but most people are always going to remember that Lin Sandy run. That was, I mean, I was living in New York at the time. I grew up on the East Coast, but I was living in New York at the time, and I just never seen anything like it. It was the most incredible thing I've ever seen, and I remember specifically about that Laker game. Everyone kind of looked at that Laker game like, all right, that ends here. They're playing the Lakers. Like, Kobe's gonna come out there and cook them. Like, that is where the Linsanity run is gonna end when the Lakers come to Madison Square Garden. And he was making just big shot after big shot. 38 points, if I remember specifically. I think he outdueled Kobe. It was just crazy. Like, just out of nowhere, this guy off the bench is just dominating games. Like, I'd never seen anything like it in my time watching the NBA. And obviously, Lakers, it wasn't a great season for them when he was here, but again, great guy, great teammate, just everything you would look for in a guy that you want to represent your teammates. So, Jeremy Lin, shout out, man. Love Linsanity. Appreciate your 1 year in Los Angeles. I hope you ride off into the sunset, man. I hope you enjoy retirement. Great guy. So yeah, man. Congrats on a really solid career, and hope you enjoy retirement. That is it for me today, guys. Everyone have a great Labor Day. Hope you enjoy the day. And yeah, I'll catch you this week. Everyone have a good one.